Let's go.
What's good, man? It's Mr. Trill Talk No Pill Talking. I got a very special guest today, man. Mr. Larry Hoover Jr., man. So what's good, man? I mean, obviously, we here, talk about your daddy, talk about what you got going on for us, freeing your daddy and stuff like this. So how was it basically growing up and, with a father that's that influential?
Man, it was basically living up under his umbrella. You just had to. It make you think you're supposed to be somebody in particular at some times.
Yeah. So with his help in the community, like, do you carry that on, like, still, like what he started out?
I mean, yeah, we try to make whatever effort we can to try to give back and keep spreading the right information out here to the community, because that's what his legacy should be. So we can't let that go.
Yeah. So exactly how much time did your father get? Like, exactly, some people, like, initially, like, I know he had one charge at first and he got sentenced, and then they came back and gave him some more time, right?
So it was a couple 100 years on the first case.
Damn.
But back in those days when they gave him the case, they would give you that time, but it would never really be that.
It wouldn't stick,
yeah. Yeah, and then as far as this, the second case he had, it was 5 or 6 life sentences for a non-violent drug crime. So
exactly, how did he catch the second charge?
The second charge, it was I guess it was a RICO. They put a bunch of guys together on the RICO case.
Okay, so with the RICO case, your dad being doing it, like, right now you got Young Thug and them going through sort of like the same thing.
Yeah.
Do you feel like it's kind of any similarities in those two situations?
I haven't really researched Young Thug case. I was just hoping that maybe his name was big and they just put him in there, because I hate to see any guys that's in that type of position that get caught up in that. But I don't know what type of weight Young Thug really carried compared to who my father is and what he was doing in the city. I knew that that my father was influential. I could see a lot of the things that he was doing on why he would cause those, well, you know what, I can't even say that I see why he would cause the interest that he caused in those people, because he was doing a lot of good, but the good wasn't looked at. It was the part where he came from being poor and deal what he had to do as far as struggling was concerned.
Okay, and like your relationship, I see y'all working to to free him right now, to try to get him free. You and Kanye West, along with Drake and Jay Prince. Like, I noticed Jay Prince, like, he been dealing with your father for like decades. Like with the Ghetto Boys CD, where he talked on there.
Right.
And basically what do y'all have to do? Like, what are y'all working towards to get him free? Like, some of the things that y'all actually doing.
Well, what we actually doing, as far as the Kanye thing was concerned, and the Drake show, that was a awareness campaign, so people could know what's going on with him. And then on top of that, Kanye is helping take care of attorneys that's working to fight for my father. Now, my father qualifies to be released under the First Step Act. And we actually, the judge said he qualifies, but it's things that the judge feels uncomfortable about, as far as my father coming back to the world and committing crime and being the leader of an organization and what have you. And we just trying to let the judge know that he don't have to worry about that, because my father is 71 years old. He's aged out of criminality. We're not he's not interested in being the leader of a gang, and I didn't finish saying about Jay. Jay has just been there supporting for years and years. Our relationship started, like you said, back in the Ghetto Boys. We used to do promotion. We did shows, and from having a friendship and a business relationship, it grew into a real family relationship over the years.
Okay, with the Jay Prince, right now you got like Jay Prince getting a lot of flack right now from the Wack 100. How you feel about this situation, man? Like, with Wack 100 pretty much taking up for like a rat, basically, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I can't really give much energy to Wack 100.
Yeah.
You know, Jay Prince gets flack, but I have to support Jay because he's support me and he's looking out for he always looks out for the family. So in a situation where somebody is trying to, you know, take something from the family that's very obvious that it is the family's, you know, I can't do nothing but support Jay and thank him for trying to, you know, help fight in these situations. He's been doing it the whole time.
Yeah. So do y'all, like, how do, like other Chicago rappers, what other Chicago rappers who are like helping with the situation, like trying to help get your father free? Like before Kanye West, was there anybody else trying to help with it besides Jay Prince?
Chicago rappers that were trying to help, they would give their support verbally, but I'm trying to remember who was on. I don't want to leave nobody out to see if there's anybody that actually did anything, but you know, verbally people would put in a good word about them. You know what I mean? A lot of these younger guys, I notice I hear Durk always speaking highly of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's a lot of guys. I can't say a lot of guys really did anything, and they, you know, they might say something about him, you know, help keep his name alive, but I can't remember if anybody really, you know, stepped up. Do or Die, they used to support, like all of those.
Twister and all of them?
Yeah, all those guys from the West Side was, you know, kind of in support of them, but they didn't really do like a lot for them. But you know what I mean, they was in support.
Okay, what's your relationship with Big Durk?
With Big Durk?
Yeah.
I mean, that was
Lil
somebody
Durk's
I seen as a kid. I don't have a real relationship with him. I know him when I was a kid. I used to see him come around, and you know, he was, you know, one of the guys. But
do he support your father? Like, I mean, as far as like, you know how you said the rappers, a lot of them when they're actually doing nothing, have he actually did something to help?
Well, it's not a lot that he could actually do, but he is in support if we have something that we actually need him to do hands on, you know.
Okay. And I see you wear the necklace with the 7, man. What exactly is the 7?
That's 7 Kings. That's Brother Noah, another guy that's like a brother to me. That's his label.
Okay, and
7 Kings Entertainment.
Any artists? Can you name some of the artists?
I mean, Tohi and GSO Fat. Those are his artists that he working with.
Okay, now from out of.
They're from one of them is from actually New York, and the other one is from Natchez, Mississippi.
Okay, like Mississippi, your father is from Mississippi, like originally, right?
Right, he was born there.
Like, do you keep contact with the family from down in that area? Or?
No, not really. You know what? I'm familiar with some of my cousins down there, but I really don't know a lot of people down there. I was trying to actually meet my grandfather. I believe he's passed now, but I never got a chance to. I wanted to see like who I came from, see what he really looks like. You know what I mean?
So you really don't know hardly none of the family really out there really like that?
No, not really.
Okay. So with the drill music, man, do you think that kind of affect your father? Like in his release, like with them steady with the drill music, you know, talking about the killings and all that kind of stuff, like, and then representing the gang, you know, that he started, which was meant to start, you know,
well,
growth and development.
Right. As far as the drill music is concerned, like if the drill music was just music and it was entertainment, but it goes a little bit too hard to just be entertainment because they actually antagonize people's real life situations, people that have died, and you know what I mean, people that's maimed from something that happened, and then they talk about you in front of the world, and now you have no other choice but to try to retaliate, even though retaliation does nothing but keep it going. They probably do try to attribute some of it to my father, but they know for a fact my father don't know none of these kids. He's not telling them to do none of this that's going on. Like, he's been under the ground in Colorado for 20 plus years. He can't talk to nobody.
So his actual where he's at is actually underground?
It's in the side of the mountain, side of the hill. Yeah. So he's definitely underground.
So when you go to visit him, how do you like, would it be like you said it's inside a mountain?
Yeah.
Like, so how, would you drive up there, or?
So you drive up, and then when you go in up top, and you go down the steps all the way down to the basement, which I say is probably at least 20 feet down. Then you walk back through the, I guess you're under the mountain at that point, but you walk back like let's say a half a football field or so, into the back where you go into the room where you visit at.
Okay. So how often do you get to visit him?
We try to go every other month if possible. It might be every 2 to 3 months, and that's in the warm season, because once it's winter time in Colorado, we don't want to get caught down there.
So y'all don't really get to go see him in the winter time?
Nah, the winter we don't really go.
That's the only place he been, or he been at other places too?
I mean, he's been somewhere in the beginning. That's probably less than a year, and where he was still in Chicago, and then he was, I believe it was Terry Hutt, but then he's been in Colorado all this time.
Okay.
Probably 26 years.
So with your father being influential to everybody else, like what is something that your father done told you before that just stuck with you, like one thing that really just stuck with you?
I'm gonna get this one because I want to influence people that mention my father and, you know, steady hollering GDE, and you can't kill everybody and everybody ain't worth killing.
And what you think he meant by that, what he told you that, like?
I mean, I believe that that your life is precious. So if you're willing to trade your life for somebody, it needs to be worth it at least. You know what I mean? So yeah, I take it as that, and I like to get that message because it seems that we at this point that everything is worth killing somebody. If I'm angry at you, it looks like now in the street I had a right to kill you, or it's a reason worth killing you. If I fear you, it's a reason to kill you right away. Like, killing is the answer to everything, seems like.
Yeah. You think it's anything that you could do personally to try to help, you know, change some of that? Like, for us, the violence in Chicago, do you think it's anything you can do to kind of help?
I mean, I could just try to use my voice, saying that my father is who he is, and some people might give me the opportunity to talk to him, let me in their space. You know what I mean? I just use my voice and then try to use whatever connections I have to help people bring programs and try to bring programs together that'll help the youth grow up with a different mindset.
Okay. How was it when you first heard the Rick Ross song? I think I'm Big Meech, Larry Hoover.
It was all good until it said whip and work right after that. You know, but that was, you know, over time,
did that affect it?
Huh?
Did that affect your father's situation?
I mean, I don't know that it really affected him through the people where he was at, but my father was fighting for his life, still is fighting for his life, and to look at him as this super drug dealer while he's fighting for his life and glorifying the fact that he was whipping work, that was a problem. Now, Rick Ross, on the other hand, he was making the effort to show support of who he was and to show honor to him. It just wasn't the best way to do it. So, I mean, I had to get over that. I was kind of
Have you ever met him and talked to him about it?
Yeah, I met him. We passed that. That's like water under the table. I mean, that's water under the bridge, shall I say. That's old, you know. We're in a different place at this point.
Okay, so man, I always ask everybody this one question before I finish interviewing them, man. If there's one thing you could tell the youth right now, you could say one thing you think it'll affect all the youth and benefit them, what would you tell them?
I would tell them that there's opportunity here. It is not, we don't have to feel like it's hopeless. All we got to do is put the work into whatever it is we want to try to do, and that is definitely possible. It is opportunity here. To believe that there's no opportunity and that you can't do anything other than crime to survive is false. It's not real. Like, it's opportunity. I mean, look at what you're doing. You're doing podcasts, and other people doing podcasts. Other people are doing music. I mean, and it's a lot of spots in music other than being in front of the camera. I mean, it's opportunity here. All you got to do is be willing to put the work in, and it's gonna take time. It don't happen right away, but it's possible.
Okay, and man, if anybody wants to show support, like for as monetary, you know, sending money for your father and stuff like that, how could they do that?
You know what, I have to give you the address and you can post it. But I have his address, and you have to give him a postal money order, and you can send money directly to him.
And if they want to reach out to you personally and do something, like if they can't give money, they can give something else, and they want to reach out to you to do it, how would they reach out to you?
You can reach out. You can get at me on Larry Hoover Jr. _ on Instagram, and then you can also follow the Larry Hoover Project, which talks about prison reform and just all of the changes that need to come for our people who keep winding up in this situation, the ones that take these chances to try to survive out here.
Okay, and can we expect like a film or something like that about your father's life?
Man, we've been working on a film for 20 years. At some point, it'll happen. You know,
y'all
I can't say that.
So y'all ain't got like to just move forward with y'all, just kind of like a thought right now, or?
I mean, it's whatever barriers that happen with making it happen are the barriers that make it happen.
All right, man. Well, it's been a good interview, man, with Trill Talk No Pill Talk and Larry Hoover Jr., man, and we out.
All right.